Welcome back to the channel, traders, investors. Happy Friday. Markets are up, green day. Is it a recovery bounce? What kind of bounce is this? Is there going to be more downside? We're going to have a look at the charts later, but we can see at the moment that Bitcoin's up just over 3.5%. We've got Ethereum up nearly 5%. We've got the smaller layer ones, or the larger cap layer ones outside of Ethereum, which have run the most, which is BNB up 10%. You've got XRP, which is up over 12%. Solana, DOT, AVAX, BE Chain, they're all up today. So market's looking a little bit healthier, but we'll, like I say, we'll go over the charts in a minute. But firstly, I just wanted to show you this article I've seen on Grayscale, which has been released today, and saying that Grayscale Bitcoin Trust discount widens to an all-time low of 30.79%. Grayscale Fund, often referred to by its ticker GBTC, is one of the few ways for stock traders in the US to gain exposure to the price movements of Bitcoin. So you'll see that GBTC, which is the stock of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. We'll have a quick look at the chart in a minute of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and compare it against Bitcoin itself. But you'll see that the 18.3 billion Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the world's largest Bitcoin fund, has seen its market discount widen to an all-time low of 30.79% this week, as crypto markets suffered one of their most volatile weeks in recent times, data shows. So each share of GTBC holds 26.46 worth of Bitcoin as of Friday, as per Grayscale. But the GBTC itself trades at 18.35 at writing time. So the GBTC is currently one of the ways for stock traders in the US to gain exposure to price movements to Bitcoin without the need to purchase the actual cryptocurrency itself. So for years, the GBTC fund traded at a premium to the underlying Bitcoin price, but it's flipped negative in early 2021 due to several factors, including the launch of spot traded exchange funds, ETFs, in Canada, which provided an alternative to those looking to invest in Bitcoin through a stock market vehicle. So the discount could be taken as a bearish indicator, since it might mean a wane in interest in Bitcoin amongst traders, but it's also seen as some opportunistic traders as a way of scooping up Bitcoin on the cheap. So the GBTC discount, obviously, unlike for exchange traded funds or ETFs, the trust has no built-in market mechanism to keep the GBTC share price trading close to the underlying value of Bitcoin. Grayscale applied last year to convert GBTC into a spot exchange traded fund. Many analysts are skeptical that the US Securities and Exchange Commission will approve the conversion anytime soon, though some traders have bought GBTC as a way of betting on the prospect of the SEC's nod. In that sense, a wider discount signals dimming optimism for such approval. So in the meantime, investors are getting charged fees. The recent crypto sell-off may have contributed to a wider GBTC discount. Bitcoin fell as low as 24,000 on Thursday before recovering to over 30,000 early Friday. The assets lost 23% in the past month amid inflation and concerns and weak sentiment in broader equity markets. So Grayscale's parent company, Digital Currency Group, is also the owner of CoinDesk, which is run as an independent subsidiary, and that's the website that we're reading this article from, CoinDesk. So I'll have a quick look at the markets now and see where we are, starting with, we've got the Grayscale. I just wanted to show you something as far as the stock Grayscale Bitcoin traded trust, and how the chart compares to the actual Bitcoin price itself. So this is the GBTC price, and you see that we've broken a level of support at these levels here, and you'll see that we had the big rally. This is the FTX chart, so we see that the big rally at the start of 2021. It's come back down. We had the May crash, didn't recover until July, the end of July, and then we had the big pump with the second run. and the second run on the Grayscale trust didn't run as high as what Bitcoin did. We know that we've reached an all-time high in the Bitcoin price and just slightly up to just under 70,000. So if we have a quick look at the comparison to them, you see that there's similarities, and we've dropped this level here, and when you compare that to Bitcoin, you see we've also dropped this level here. A bit of strength though in Bitcoin. So this is the daily chart, and we're on the Binance chart trading against USDT, US dollar tether, not UST, which is absolutely slammed with Luna. A lot of buying action here, so if we read a naked candle price action, you see we've had the big drop here, and we made the base, here, and we slammed through, got the close, which signals weakness. We haven't come back and tested this level here, so this is probably the next level that we're looking to test. And you see where we had a lot of buying action here, which pushed price action up previously. We've had a lot of sell action, so we've had the opposite here, where we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight red candles. The sixth one was a bullish candle at one point, where it's pulled up and got 2/3 to the previous candle, and then the bears have pushed that, the sellers have pushed that straight back down to around about a third of the candle. And then we had the indecision candle, which could be considered as a small capitulation here. And now we need to see how we're going to react to this level. So got a bit of time left in the day, and what we'd want to see here really, for some kind of strength to come back and test this level here, is I'd want to see some kind of high above, well, in fact a high above this zone here. If we could get a higher close above this zone here, I think that we're going to be testing these levels again here, which is the 37,000 level, currently trading at 30,400. So going to be a lot of selling pressure around here. So that's Bitcoin. We'll have a quick look at Solana. And Solana's at a level of resistance at the moment. We had the strong buying pressure here, following the bearish signal, which pulled down under our zone of support at $42.14. So we pushed down to 37.79, but on the daily we haven't managed to close below that, which signals short-term strength. So what I want to see here on Solana would be a close above 53.43, which would signal some kind of short-term, and then we could try and test this the top of this range here, which is 63.57. But we've got to see what kind of price action that we're going to get from the candle close of today, because we've had a bit of resistance from our resistance zone here at 54.32, and it looks like there's some sell orders here trying to offload and protect themselves at levels, expecting it to come back down and retest this as a bottom. So we'll have a quick look at the 4 hour on Solana, and you can see that we have actually the level that I've just drawn on the daily here that we need to get high above, which is the extreme high of yesterday's high. So like I mentioned, go back in the 4 hour and we see we've had a massive reaction at this level here. So the 4 hour candle's telling us that there's a bit of a sell wall here, and they're expecting price to come back down, retest these levels, whether we can get another capitulation wick, push price action back up. Another capitulation wick similar to that, push price action back up above this level, use this level as confirmation, and then come back and test this zone here. If we manage to get past this zone, close above there, that's signaling some short-term bullish action. No major reversal as far as the charts are telling us, but that's obviously what people are expecting here. So the sell orders here coming back down, retest. Can we get capitulation? Can we get a strong buy wall at this level? Breakthrough here, retest, confirmation, and back on our way. That's what we're looking for. So not trading at the moment here because it's counter trend. And quite volatile as well at the moment, so that's what I'm looking for in Solana. Have a quick look at Cardano. This is the one that's really pumped today. And it's come back and it's hit our zone of 39 cents. Currently trading at 61 cents. So that's about a 40% increase. And like I say, this is the 4 hours, so we've had this today. Strong buying pressure and levels that we need to be looking at to try and break and close above. I'd like to see a close above 60 in this range here, and we've got so this is the 4 hour again, we've got the 20 moving average coming down here, which is going to probably act as confluence in this area, so I'm expecting that Cardano is going to have some kind of retracement. May not retrace all the way back, may not actually do that. It may have some kind of strong price action where you get something like this where it's letting the indicator reset before it gets its break, close, and then retest these levels here. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. You could get the opposite, like I said with Solana, where they're coming back, the bears are pushing price action back down and testing these levels here, find out whether there's strong action here, because if there's weakness here, the bears can manage to push that back down and test this level here. 39.63, 39 cent level again. If the bears can manage to push price action back down because there's none of this on the second time, that's an opportunity that they'll try and do that. So each time that you're hitting this level, it becomes weaker. You're eating up all the buy orders, until there's no buyers left, and we get bang, and then this level becomes resistance rather than support. So unless we get some strong buy action, which we could actually remain in this short-term trend here that we're in, get rid of all that. You could actually remain in this short-term trend. Where you come back, retest, don't actually break, come back, have a couple of opportunities like that. So that's a possibility as well, but like I say, that's also a possibility. So we'll just watch what we're doing on Cardano now, see what kind of strength we've got at the end of the day, and see how this area here acts, because ultimately if we can get above this level here, we have got a real opportunity to come back and test these levels that price was currently trading at this time. Well, it's the 6th of May. When was that? 6th, 7th of May. So a few days ago. So we've obviously bled quite a lot, and Cardano's led the recovery, as you've seen, with around about 40% today. Have a quick look at a couple of other ones. I'll have a look at Ethereum, and I think that in times of panic, as far as altcoins are concerned, if people are heavily invested in Bitcoin and they want exposure to altcoins, the liquidity always runs into Ethereum, and we'll see that in comparison, I'll stick Ethereum on the daily, in comparison to the rest of the altcoin market, Ethereum's held up pretty well. It's nearly hit our support level here at 1730, and you've managed to get the strong buy-in action here at this level. Levels that we need to see a reaction from, a positive reaction where we're going to have plenty of volume. Just pop the volume indicator on. We'd like to see some kind of where you've got this red volume candle here, we'd like to see a replica of that on a green candle, so we can see some kind of buy-in pressure that's going to push it up above these levels, because there's a lot of resistance at these levels here. There's a lot of trading that's been going on during those levels. You can actually see that indicated by the VNPR indicator, which is like a volume range indicator, and if you stick this on, you'll see that the most area of traded volume during this whole period, going back from the 29th of June to now, 14th of May today, is this level here, which is the 3078 level. If you look at this more recently to try and get more of a gauge of what recent price action is looking at as far as a sticking point is concerned, the most area of traded volume was at the 2954 level. So if we could get back to this area, it shows some kind of strength in Ethereum, but there's also quite a lot of strong resistance. We're going to get a lot of strong resistance, I feel, at these areas here. So ideally in Ethereum, you've had that. If that's any kind of a bottom, we'd want to see it's coming back to test these levels, and then hopefully some kind of a head and shoulders pattern where you've got the neckline here and you break that and you can come back, and then we can test these levels here. So if there's any kind of short-term bullish action in the market, that's a possibility of something that could happen in Ethereum. And again, we're observers. When we're making a base and when we're trending in a bearish trend and we've just lost levels, we've just lost zones of support become zones of resistance, we don't want to be long in markets. We want to be observing to find out when an opportunity long might exist, and this is just playing out as normal. We've come back down, we've tested this zone here, we've failed this zone, we've come back down, we've tested our next zone. Just get the volume indicator off. We've tested our next zone, or nearly tested our next zone. We've come back up, we've tested this, which was previous support, which has now become resistance, and we've had a slight reaction from that. Are we going to go back down and retest the 1732 is what we're going to be observing next. So price action, when you counter trend, you're looking for a few things. You can look for a double bottom in a really strong market. You get a capitulation wick and you get a big massive V shape strength. It's not a strong market at the moment, so that's unlikely. Or you could have some kind of a 3-bar reversal where you would have -1 here, an indecision one, and then you'd get the higher high, higher close above here, which would show on a higher time frame such as the daily, short-term bullish action and likely to come back and retest the previous lows as indicated back here. So that's Ethereum. I'm going to have a couple look at a couple more. We've got Grandira in our BBS channel, who wanted me to look at EOS for him. And this one's, stick this one on the weekly. So it's not looking very strong, EOS. We're at an area of support, and we've had the wick down. So don't forget this is the weekly, so at the end of the week we'll get the close and we'll find out whether we've got a candle close below this zone of support here. If we have, that's going to signal weakness, and we're likely to see price action come back down, and rather than this being support, it's going to be future resistance, act as resistance, and continue its move back down. So we need to a candle close above this zone here, because ultimately if we get the close below here, which is the previous low of 133, that's going to signal new all-time lows, and certainly on the Binance chart anyway, new all-time lows and likely further downside. So we want to be holding this level, a key area of support, which is the 143, and then we want to be testing this area at 190, breaking this area with some kind of a volume and acting as that future acting as support, and see if we're likely to continue in that move in a ranging market of some sort or slightly higher price action. I mean, on the weekly time frame, when you do come to these major areas and you've got the moving averages which are fanning downwards as well, that acts as additional complements, and you're likely to get a reaction in the way of the trend from that. A couple more, so this is going to be the last one actually, Apecoin, and I'm not going to do that on the weekly, I'll do that on the daily. And it's held up alright actually, considering the rest of the market and how new this actually is, but we've got no levels to hold now. If this is going to act as a base of future support, that'll be good, and we could be potentially looking at trading in a bit of a ranging market. We've got a lot of resistance at these levels. And you see that's the level that lines up with the VNPR as well, which indicates the area of most traded volume. That's indicated by 1391. If we can come back and get above 1008, I could see it likely that we trade back and see and test these levels again. We would have one area to get through before that, in my opinion, which is going to be this area here, trading at 1050. So it'd be nice to see a bit of volume on here and a big close above here, retest, confirmation, and then we can come and test these moving average levels and these previous areas of interest, which there's been quite a lot of selling action in this instance, indicated by these strong selling wicks. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you liked the video. Leave a comment, share it with your friends, and if you want me to go over any alts, give you guys a shout out. Just let me know and I'll be happy to. Many thanks. Take care. Enjoy your weekend.